Hey everybody, we're back. It's been about an hour. I puttered around and got some things ready for dinner, did some dishes, things like that, and before you know it, it was an hour and the dough is all chilled. Now, when I went and put this into the refrigerator, it had a lot of give. I had to lay it across my arm to get it in there because it was really flimsy. You can see now, it is like solid. That butter has cooled back down, chilled, and brought everything back together, and that's exactly how you want it. That's why I say kind of wait at least 30 minutes. An hour is perfect, but 30 minutes is okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unwrap this, and this works similar to any kind of chilled dough cookie recipe. And I am going to unroll it ever so gently. Now this is where you wanna try to keep your fingers off of it as much as possible. I know you gotta kind of handle it a little bit, but if you can try and keep the warmth of your hands kind of off of it and work on a cool surface like your countertop definitely is the perfect one. Granite is awesome, but not all of us have granite, so just a regular countertop is perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my pastry cutter and I'm gonna be using this to slice into it. You could use a regular sharp knife, but these have a really nice blade on them, so I find they work great for cookie dough. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of eyeball this and cut this in half right now, and just kind of leave the other half off to the side. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start working with this piece right here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is you're gonna want to cut it about 3/4 of an inch thick. And I've gone ahead and grabbed my cookie sheet and I've lined it with some parchment paper. And I've sprayed the bottom of the pan and then laid the parchment paper on top, just so that the parchment paper doesn't move a whole lot when I'm trying to place the cookies on there. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna just start, I'm gonna get rid of the first one, all right? And then about 3/4 of an inch or so is your first cookie. And you're just gonna go ahead and keep slicing these and lay these onto your cookie sheet. Now they don't have to be very far apart from each other because like I said, they're not going to rise a whole lot or spread apart a whole lot, and it's just gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna keep slicing these, and I'm going to line each cookie sheet. I've got 3 of them made. I may only need 2. I wasn't quite sure how how thick this was going to come out. Each dough recipe that I make of the shortbread, it's a little bit different. So it depends on how long I roll the log and how thick I roll the log. But I've got a really cute press that I'm gonna be using with this. So I made them a little bit, probably a little bit bigger than what I would normally do. Sometimes what I would do is I would take the shortbread and just leave it in a square. You know how I just rounded that really well? I just leave it in a square and then cut them into little square shortbread pieces. So it's totally up to you. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna keep doing this, and then when we come back, I'm gonna show you how to press them, bake them, and they're gonna be perfect. All right, we're back. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. I have got about 22 of them right here. So like I said, each one, it kind of varies a little bit with your, with how thick you cut them and how long you make your log as far as your diameter and things like that. So what I've got is I've got a cookie press here, and all I'm gonna do, just to make a little design in it, is press down in and then bring it back up. Now you might want to have to peel it away or spread it with just a hair of, spray it with a little bit of cooking spray, or just spritz it a little bit with some vegetable oil, and you should be all set. So I'm going ahead, I'm going to finish pressing these out. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Okay, so when the cookies came out, I turned the oven on because it'll take about a good 10 minutes to get it up to temperature and get it to the right temperature. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put these, I'm gonna finish pressing these out, pop them in the 350 degree oven, and I'm gonna check them at the 15-minute mark. I may check them at the 12-minute mark, but just when the edges are starting to turn golden color, like a light golden brown, that's when you'll wanna take them out. So I'm gonna keep pressing these, and then we'll be right back in about 15 minutes or so, and you can see the finished product. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming back. These are all out of the oven. They cooked for just under 15 minutes. So I had the convection switched on just so they baked nice and evenly, and they took about 14 minutes. So you definitely want to check them 10-minute mark and then just keep kind of checking them every minute or two after that, because there's a fine line when they're just right or they're a little too done. So these came out perfect. They're nice and golden on the edges, and I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna show you that they've been sitting for a little bit. But there's the bottom. It's a nice golden brown. It's not burnt at all. And then the front part of it is just perfect. So, and it says Dee's Pantry Cooking on it because I have a little cookie press. So you can do shapes, you can do cookie presses. Like I said, you don't have to do anything. You can just slice them. Maybe put like a fork, like a little fork cross mark in it, just so some air can get out through there if you don't press them. Because pressing them does make that little bit of an indentation to help release some of the air and everything that kind of comes up through while it's cooking. So just let them set and cool, and then they're perfect with anything, or just a big glass of milk. So I hope you liked this cooking video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to that YouTube channel. There's a button right down there. Just hit subscribe. And don't forget, whatever you do, you make it with love. We'll see you next time.